Okay, everybody, 3, 2, 1, and we are live in Port Townsend with Denise Joy, my longtime friend of Port Townsend. Where did we meet, actually, Denise? Oh, good morning, Denise.
Good morning, Jeff. I don't know. Maybe Country Fair, maybe Wooden Boat Festival, maybe just Port Townsend.
Well, I had a booth with Pag Bags for years.
May have been there, but my guess is we met here in Port Townsend just as a general community.
Palindrome, the Saturday Market. Well, we're with Denise today, everybody. This is Jeff Eichen. We want to share with you and our community, our local community, and the globe, and you all on Facebook, where we're at and what Denise has learned and her suggestions about cleanliness and moving forward and grounding yourself and not being so freaked out about corona virus. And introduce yourself. Let us know about a little bit about what brought you to Port Townsend, and then roll in smoothly about taking the fear out of our coronavirus freak out here. Good morning.
Good morning. Hi, my name is Denise Joy, and I run an herbal company called Mountain Spirit Herbals. I have been doing this company for 35 years. I have been studying for over 50 years. My great-grandmother was an herbalist and trained me at a very young age. So I come with experience. I consider myself a herbalist from the ground up more than the book down. So I work very intuitively. I grow a lot of my own plants. What I don't grow, I try really hard to either wildcraft locally, locally sourced from other growers in the area, and what is not grown in my area, I try to source from farmers that I've been working with for a long time. And I always go back to the smaller people, the organic people, and the people that treat the earth as they would treat themselves. So with the coronavirus that's coming out, I've noticed a lot of fear. And it's okay to be cautious. It's okay to pay attention. It's okay to be clean. My belief is when you wash your hands 10, 15 times a day, and then you dry them appropriately, either on a paper towel, which I prefer not to do, or on clean towels that you're washing frequently. Or one of the things I do is I rip towels into small pieces, and then I use them once, throw them in a basket, and do laundry once a week. And I use vinegar to sterilize. So that's getting the germs off your hands. Staying home is probably a good thing, but we all can't stay home every day. We have lives to live and places to go. So just be conscious, wash your hands, pay attention. And then I also use in my own life and in the life of my family, we use immune boosters. So I make a tea that's an immune booster called Winter Root Tea.
Hey team, we're still here cooking with Denise Joy at Mountain Spirit in Port Townsend, Washington. We're giving you her remedies and her advice. We never really prescribe anything and tell you that it's going to work. So you call in and tell us, give us your testimonials, and maybe it'll go into the final production of this. And love to your day. So I'm going to let Denise take it away. And thank you so much for all these years in service and for doing what I call the top of the notch products for natural souls that want to be as organic as they can and don't panic.
Thanks, Jeff. Thanks for the great compliment. So I wanted to talk about some of the teas. I have an Everybody's Cold Tea, which is the children love, and that's really important too. It's delicious, and it's a Port Townsend favorite. For those of you who are lived in Port Townsend anywhere over 3 years ago and up to the early 90s and maybe even 80s, there was a place called the Boiler Room, and the kids would always order the Everybody's Cold Tea. It was their favorite. Now there's also this tea I made that's called balancing tea, and I made it for my son who is diabetic, and I've heard lots of good things about it. It's not in place of anything that you would be using that the AMA would give you for diabetes, but it does help to balance out your blood sugar, and it is a nice stimulant, and it just strengthens your whole immune system. And then the other tea I like is my winter root tea, and it is also an immune support. And it has licorice and ashwagandha in it, and eleutherococcus, which is also known as Siberian ginseng, and Oregon grapefruit, burdock root, and that's it. And it's a delicious tea. And then the other tea I have, which I didn't pull out, is called an herbal chai, which is a chai blend with the winter root. For those of you who don't like the flavor of licorice, the chai disguises the flavor of licorice, but is still a lovely afternoon or evening blend and helps to build up your immune system. The other thing people have been asking me for is nerve relaxants. A lot of people are having a hard time sleeping. So I have a blend of nerve relaxants in a nervine tincture, and that's skullcap, chamomile, catnip, and lobelia combined together. And it just helps to calm the anxiety. I have several other nerve relaxants if you go to my webpage, mountainspiritherbals.com. Once again, mountainspiritherbals.com. And my phone number is 360-385-4491. I accept texts or phone calls on that number. I am not considered a retail outlet, but I do have people stopping in. A lot of my products are available in the local stores in Port Townsend, at the food co-op, or at the corner store, at the candle store, at the Uptown Bare Root Apothecary. My hours here on the property are by appointment. I also do consultations. So if you would like to get a hold of me, 360-385-4491. I prefer people not to drop in, because if I'm in the middle of production, I can't have anyone in the shop. But I make appointments, and people can stop in by appointment. So I have a tincture here that's called Purifier Tincture, and it has echinacea root, red clover root, burdock root, and prickly ash. And that helps to just boost the immune system up so that if anybody around you is ill, your body can fight it off.
And how might somebody be taking these when they're in their car or on the road?
Well, I wouldn't take it while they're driving, but yes, you can take it under your tongue. You can put a tincture in hot water if you have an issue with alcohol. All of my tinctures are alcohol-based. The word tincture means infused in alcohol, and I take that seriously. So I put all the tinctures in either hot water or directly under the tongue. And so the other tincture I have is a lung nerve relaxant, which is called lobelia. Lobelia is a very strong tincture. I'm not an expert on coronavirus any way, shape, or form. I have no degrees. I'm not a health practitioner, but I do know that lobelia is a lung nerve relaxant. And coronavirus, apparently from everything I've heard, which is the same everybody else is listening to, gives you a dry lung and also tightens up the lung and stops the lungs from wanting to breathe correctly. And I am hoping that lobelia will help. I make no guarantees on any of my product whatsoever, but I know that from 35 years of experience, the herbs that have helped in the past. Another tincture that I have is called Kick-Ass. It used to be called Kick-Ass Cold and Flu Blend. Our local government does not like me using language that would have anything to do with medical terminology. So it is now just called Kick-Ass. It has antivirals in the product. It is a Port Townsend favorite. I run through a lot of them, and it is more for when your body has an illness. It can work as a preventative, but not on a daily basis. So if you're next to somebody or in a room full of people and somebody has the flu or possibly corona, I can't say that it would stop your body from getting it, but it will give you a good chance of keeping your body from actually contacting the virus. You take a couple dropperfuls, there's a lot of cayenne in there, so I highly recommend people take it in hot water, or I know the kids like it in orange juice. The other herb I have here is called lomatium, which is also an antiviral and very potent. Anything that's an antiviral is technically a mild poison, so you want to be very cautious when you're taking products that are a mild poison. I know that a lot of people right now are using elderberry, and that is not in my product line here, and primarily because I believe it's being overused. If you do take elderberry, take it in small amounts. Large amounts of elderberry can be very toxic. And then the last herb that I'm going to pull up from here is an immune support. And once again, that has echinacea, red clover leaves and flowers, elder flowers, myrrh, and raspberry leaves. What has been pretty much flying off my shelves, but if you look behind me here, you can see I am been working steadily for the last 3 or 4 months building inventory because I'm moving into what I consider my busy season. The local Port Townsend Farmers Market starts in another 4 weeks, and I'm a vendor there, so you can find me next to Red Dog in the Port Townsend Saturday Market. And so I build up my inventory over the next couple months. I have lots of creams and salves. I have vapor rub available. I have wound powder available. I have many, many oils for different medicinal properties and also pleasure properties for fragrance, like my rose cream, which is made from a Bulgarian rose, and then down to calendula salve and a renewal balm, which is a balm that can be used both internally as well as externally. Fear only gets panic, and it's not a safe emotion. If you respect your body and you respect by cleaning your hands and doing everything you can to prevent it, it's just like the flu, or it's just like getting a cold. This month, we're going to see a lot of people sneezing and a lot of people coughing because we're having an early spring. So we have flowers in bloom that normally are not in bloom until the end of March, that have been in bloom since the end of February. So do not panic. If you see somebody with a handkerchief blowing their nose, they're probably just allergic to the fern or the cherry blossom that is blooming.
Say no need to buy masks.
I would not personally buy a mask. The reason the masks are is to help us from touching our face, because where the virus is going to mostly end up with anyone is going to be on their hands. And so if you have a mask on, there's very little chance of you contacting the virus from anybody in the room. But keeping your hands clean, washing your hands, and not touching your face. And that's a big one. And for all of us, we have to pay attention to how many times we touch our face a day. And every time we do touch our face, we should go wash our hands and maybe even wash our face. So many of us here in the Port Townsend area have young ones. And I think our young ones are really healthy because we're a large community of farmers and outdoor people. And I think keeping our children's hands clean and making sure they understand when they use the restroom or they blow their nose or anything like that, that they wash their hands. To continue to not put fear in your children, to let them play outside, to let them be with their friends, but to be conscious of keeping their hands clean. I'm not a really big fan of hand sanitizer. I'm a big fan of soap and water. And if for any reason you do not have soap and warm water, then you can make your own hand sanitizer with aloe vera, a high-end alcohol, an Everclear, or at least, I think it's 140 proof, but I'm not sure of that. But a higher proof vodka or gin mixed with some aloe vera, and lavender essential oil is nice with thyme essential oil. Both are both antimicrobials and antibacterials and very abundant. Once again, the inventory is available in many places. The big box stores are running out of food, but the smaller stores are not. And remember, we live in a farm community. If nothing else, we can eat a lot of eggs, cheese, and lovely vegetables. We're going to be okay in this community. I think every community is going to be okay. I think may lose some people we love, and that will be really hard. But for the most part, we're all going to be healthy and stronger and get through this.
So, talking about childhood here, from my childhood, memories from smells and taste and sounds, music and just treat yourself well, everybody. Denise is a pal and a co-worker of mine and somebody in our town in Port Townsend, and we're dedicated to getting the word to you all that it's not a time to freak out. It's a time to walk in grace, in beauty, and with knowledge. So Denise is right. Don't freak your kids out. Don't keep them away from other kids. Go on normally, but get some herbs. Come to Denise. Have your appointment here, or Denise has also said that her product is available locally in several different venues. And go to her website. What is your website?
mountainspiritherbals.com.
So Denise has been a pioneer, a teacher. She's teaching the young to come up after her. We're looking for that perfect person to take on the lineage and to become the next herbalist. So Greta Thunberg, we like that you don't fly and that you're helping global warming through education, and that's what we're doing today. Through education, we want to share that we can get through this. And any final words, Denise?
Treat yourself kindly. Treat your neighbors kindly. Because hoarding your food and hoarding what you have makes you alone. Be together with people. Embrace your community. Embrace yourself. And know that we are all loved in this community and how lucky we are.
Okay, this is Jeff Eichen, Jeffy Fresh. Don't call me late for dinner. And we'll see you maybe at the Oregon Country Fair, maybe at the Palindrome, but this is our local time to say, hey, we're not freaking out, so don't you.
Take care.
Thanks, everybody. We're out. Well, we're with Denise today, everybody. This is Jeff Eichen, globetrotting and staying home for the time being. I've canceled all my trips. Barcelona, I was supposed to go to the ICBC, that's the International Cannabis Business Festival, not only to show my film Lifers, the movie, Lifers Madness, which you can see at lifersthemovie.com, everybody, for free. I'm really blessed to be helping to spread the word of reform, and no prisoners should be in jail for a plant, okay? Ever. This is non-violence, and get over it, everybody. Do your thing. Come on the walk with us. The Walk for Change is thewalkforchange.us, everybody, and we're going to be walking from California to the White House in June. And no matter what kind of budget we're strapped with, because we are raising funds for that right now, but we're still going to do it. I'm donating my motorhome, and we're just going to go. So we have to get louder, folks, and today is that moment. Today is a moment in time that we want to share with you and our community, our local community, and the globe, and you all on Facebook, where we're at and what Denise has learned and her suggestions about cleanliness and moving forward and grounding yourself and not being so freaked out about coronavirus. So 3, 2, 1. I'm so glad that we are taking precautions here in Port Townsend, my local town that I live in, and the planet. I just have given you some ideas of what Denise Joy at Mountain Spirit Herbals have suggested, and now I've been reading a little bit from James Robb, his advice. He's a colleague of the American Pathologist, and this was posted on 2/26, and he says, I, as many others do, hope this pandemic will be responsibly contained, but, in capital letters, I personally do not think it will be. Humans have never seen this snake associated with virus before and have no internal defense against it. Tremendous worldwide efforts are being made to understand the molecular and clinical virology of this virus. Unbelievable molecular knowledge about the genomics structure and of this virus has already been achieved. But there will be no drugs or vaccines available this year to protect us or limit. Only symptomatic support is available. And he closes by saying, I hope these personal thoughts will be helpful during this potentially catastrophic pandemic. You're welcome to share this. Good luck to all of us. Jim. So everybody, in my closing, I want to say, be well, be safe, use your elbows, use your prayer handshake, use your gloves when you're pumping gas and pushing your cart at the grocery store, and just be mindful of everything that you're doing. If you travel overseas or now even locally in the US, I believe the protocol is 2 weeks quarantine in your own home. Stay home, drink clean water, stay happy, call friends, organize, and we'll see you at the other end. Remember, you can get in touch with me at my Facebook, Jeff Eichen, EICHEN, and also at lifersthemovie.com. Watch my movie. And don't forget our local alchemist and herbalist, Denise Joy, at mountainspiritherbals.com. That's with an S, herbals. In closing, I would like to say thank you so much for this time and for being extra careful during this time that we're experiencing. Right now, only symptomatic support is available. I hope these personal thoughts will be helpful during this potentially catastrophic pandemic. So don't freak out, Port Townsend. We got plenty of food. Denise has herbs to help your immune system be boosted, and take care of the children. Don't keep them away from each other. Let them play, and take your dog out. Run him. Get on the beach. Enjoy springtime. Prune your trees. Jeff Eichen, Denise Joy, and the rest of us here at Ground Zero, Port Townsend, thank you so much. Until then.